Hello, my name is Peter Raymer, and today I want to talk about how to create a YouTube video. I write a lot of blog articles, and last time I created a video on how to write a blog article and all the best practices for writing a blog article and having your SEO scores high. I want to do the same now for YouTube videos. I often record a video that covers the same content as the articles. I find people learn different ways. Some people like to watch a video, some people like to read an article. I want to give you all the tips and tricks that I have on how to create a YouTube video. Some of them are around quality, how can you improve the quality of your YouTube video, and others are around how do you increase that search engine optimization score of your YouTube videos. How do you have it show up higher on Google ranks? And again, there's lots of people who know way more than I do and produce really great videos, but I still want to show you everything that I've learned in the hopes that it will help you a bunch. So let's get started. All right, so I'm actually going to start with what equipment you can use. Now, this equipment that I'll show you is completely optional. You can definitely just use your laptop, webcam, and your screen and your microphone. But I want to show you some of the equipment that I've found that if you're looking to get into this a little further, you can purchase. Again, you don't need to purchase any of this all right away. You can buy it over time if you want, but it definitely can make a difference. So the first thing is you want a good microphone. So I read and totally believe that it's most important that you use a decent microphone, even more than your video quality, because people want to be able to hear you clearly, and to be able to do that, you want a good microphone. So this is a microphone that I'd recommend. It is a USB microphone with a condenser mic. It's got a little screen in front of it, and it also clips to your desk, which is really neat. It allows you to take it and put it aside when you don't need it and pull it out when you do want it. So it's actually what I'm using right now. Normally I don't do this, but I'll hover this in front of the camera so that you can see the microphone that I've got right here. So again, not that expensive. There's certainly lots of other microphones out there, but I think this one's quite great. If you're looking for one that you could put on your desk, this one's same brand and also a good one. I think sometimes the ones that sit on your desk may pick up your keys typing a little bit more, or thuds of your table if you're knocking on them, but probably not that much. There's some great software in this microphone that is great for podcasts, where it can receive audio from both sides of the microphone, or all around, or just one side, and it does have some cool LEDs on the bottom. So this one's neat too. And I'm posting all the links to these articles or these equipment into my related article, so check that out in this YouTube video. All right, next is a web camera. Again, you could use your laptop camera, but sometimes if you don't get the camera at the right height, that makes it a little awkward if it's looking up at you or anything like that. So having a good web camera is nice. This Logitech C90 or C920X HD camera is great. It kind of attaches to the top of your monitor, and it's got autofocus and some light adjustment there, so that's pretty nice. If you want to go a little bit more expensive, some of the best webcams are these Elgato ones, these Elgato Facecam. They just came out with this Facecam MK2. I think it's just a newer version of their previous Facecam, but these are really great web cameras that do great light adjustment, autofocus, all the rest. They even have a Facecam Pro that'll do 4K and 60 frames a second. So these are really neat. Additionally, you don't need this at all. This is much more expensive, but they have these teleprompters where the camera actually sits behind this glass. You have an extra monitor that essentially is reflected on the on the glass, and it allows you to maintain eye contact with the camera but still see your content, whether that be a script or a slideshow or a Teams meeting. This is definitely very cool. Again, pretty expensive, so you definitely don't need that kind of thing. All right, next is lighting. Lighting really helps if you're not really looking at a window. If you got natural lighting, that's by far the best. But if you need to record your videos at night, or you don't have a room with great lighting, having a light like this that can face you as you do your presentation is really neat. I find these key lights from Elgato to be more expensive, but you can get them there. But I would recommend actually some other lights that I'll show you in a second. But there are some good mounts that you may need that clip to the bottom of your desk. In the back, you can also have freestanding mounts as well, but then this just has a little tripod port that can connect a light or a camera or anything else. So I would actually recommend for a light something either like this, where it's a desk ring light. These are definitely pretty cheap, so that's nice, and come with the mount to clip to your desk. Or if you want a little bit better light, there are these Relano 19.5 watt video lights. They can be adjusted. You can adjust the brightness as well as the temperature, which the temperature controls the color of the light, which is really neat. So I have one similar that's actually on right now. So it's at like 25%. I can dim it all the way down and see how my camera kind of adjusts the brightness. You can turn it, way up, and they can get extremely bright, as well as you can adjust that temperature. So really great things. I'm just using one, but oftentimes you might want two so that you can cover both sides of your face, so there's a little less shadow on one spot or the other. So definitely some really neat things that they have here. This one I don't think comes with a stand or a mount for your desk, so you may want to buy this type of extra mount that clips to your desk separately, or you can buy it through the Elgato site. All right, so that really covers the equipment, the microphone, the web camera, the lighting. But now, what's next? For me, I'm doing a lot of presentations that are recording my screen. They need to be able to see my computer screen. I'm doing a tutorial, whether that be coding or a how-to tutorial, and so for that you need a screen recorder. And so there's lots of screen recorders out there, a bunch that I've used and liked. Find one that works for you. One that I use now is called Streamlabs OBS. I'll bring up the link for it so you can see it here. But Streamlabs OBS uses open source and free software where you can download this and record your screen. It's great. You can do live streaming to lots of different platforms, as you might imagine, but you can also just record a video directly to your screen. So I'll cover that maybe. Actually, I'll show you right now. So I'm actually using that to record this video. We'll see how this works. But if I move this onto this monitor, it creates kind of a funny effect. But this is Streamlabs actively recording this video. So I'm kind of pulling the curtain out to show you what's going on. But you can select different scenes, whether you're recording the regular screen or you want to show like an intermission slide and change something else, or a be right back. You can use that if you're a live streamer. I really just use this live stream, and I've set up a few things. I've set up a display capture that's capturing one of my monitors. I've set up a capture to capture my webcam, and then I've added a few overlays, as you can see here, to make it a little bit more interesting. Add a reference to my website so you can find all the articles and code that I might be talking about in these tutorials. And then you can see this microphone is hooked up to my my microphone, and it's moving back and forth. But really, I just come down here and I click this record button, and it just records to a file. So pretty neat. I'll move that back out of the way, and it'll just keep recording my main monitor here. So again, that's Streamlabs OBS. Another one that's really, and I should say there is a great tutorial on how to set up Streamlabs. I won't go into all those details, but definitely check out this tutorial. It'll tell you everything that you need to get set up. Another screen capture is Clipchamp. This one's pretty neat. It's free up to I think 720p. I could have that mistaken, and then there's a paid version. But what I like about this tool is it will actually record separate video files for your webcam and your camera screen, and so then later you can do video editing and decide at that point in time when do you want to be showing your webcam and when do you want to be showing your computer screen. So it gives you a little bit more control after the fact, whereas other screen recorders are just going to record all of it into one file and then you're set. You can't really edit or separate out those two feeds later on. So definitely check out Clipchamp. Another one is Camtasia. Camtasia is a video editor and a screen capture. This one does cost a bit more money, but it's really nice. It's great. They used to, I think, sell single-use licenses that you could use for multiple years. Now it looks like they're more subscription-based, so you pay per the year. But this one's definitely a very nice tool. There's another one called Lightworks that is free up to 720p. Beyond that, then they have a monthly price, but this is a very powerful video editing tool as well. All right, so let's cover a few other things that you need now that we've talked about the video editors. There's a few components whenever you create a video that really make your video look a little bit nicer. You've got the main content that is the majority of your video, but then it's also helpful to have an intro to your video and then an outro to your video. So let's start with the intro. The intro can just be something that's 5 to 8 seconds that shows a graphic or anything interesting. It helps people kind of relate and tie to your brand. It can have the same music. So you're probably well familiar with my intro. You've seen it at the beginning of this video, but having a nice intro kind of lends a nice aspect of it. So using Canva can help you create these little intros if you don't have the ability to create an animated intro any other way. So these are just awesome. You can probably also find some through Pixabay as well. So Canva's great. It's kind of a Photoshop as well as video editor for this type of thing. You can follow along with this tutorial on how to create an intro. And then with your intro, you usually want to have some kind of music, or you don't have to. And what I found is really nice is YouTube actually has a lot of royalty-free music that you can look through and use as part of, say, your intro or your outro. So just there's tons of music out here. Check it out. It doesn't have to be the clip of music that you want to use doesn't need to be at the beginning or anything like that. You can either use video editing to combine that audio to your video. There's also a great audio editor called Audacity. Audacity is free and it lets you trim your music. You can get that nice little clip to put it in your intro or outro. Again, you could probably use video editing software to trim your audio as well, but this is pretty nice as well. All right, so we've talked about the intro. Now let's talk about the outro. So the outro is really important for end screens. So in YouTube, you can actually rank higher in your search engine optimization if you use end screens. End screens are the little thumbnails that you often see in the end of a video where you can click on a recent video from that same person or a popular video from that same creator. This is great as a creator because it helps your audience connect to another video, help increase views that way. But then simply by you having this end screen also increases your search engine optimization. YouTube sees it and will rank that higher in searches. So in order to add this end screen, which you'll see how to do later, what you really need is a placeholder for those end screen tiles to appear. You don't want them popping up while you're still talking on your main content. You really want them on the end as part of your outro. And so this outro piece can be found by searching pixabay.com, search for outro. You're going to find lots of different examples that are animated that you can use that are awesome. They're all, roughly, or what you want to make them is 20 seconds long. That's probably an appropriate outro for YouTube. In addition to Pixabay, you can actually use Canva again to find these outros and then adjust your text, your font, your pictures for kind of what you want. So if you go to Canva, if you search for YouTube outros, you can find lots of ones out here. Some are paid, right? And then others are free. So definitely feel free to scroll through it, pick one that you find maybe interesting and say, okay, this one looks good and is free. And then when you click on it, it'll actually, you can go into the editor and customize the template for whatever your needs are. So creating an outro video and an intro, and then making sure anytime you're recording a video that you're adding those to the beginning and the end are just really helpful. And we'll show you how those kind of all tie together in just a minute here. So I'm actually going to pull up Camtasia. Here's a blank Camtasia project. I'm going to move it over to the side a little bit so my webcam isn't covering this aspect of the screen. And again, use whatever video editor you find helpful. But I wanted to show you real quick what I tend to do for each and every one of these videos. Really, I'm going to drag my logo or my intro video to this front. And then I'm going to add my outro video or end cap with music to this project. And then I'm also going to add my main content video to this project. And so Camtasia makes it really easy. It processes it for a little bit to make sure that it understands it and knows how to work with it when it brings it in here. Okay, my video's been processed. I can drag it down into this track number 2. Then I can drag my intro video to here. I always drag my main video first because that's what's going to set the main resolution of the project. So now I can put my my intro right there. I can come in here, I can trim my video to just where it starts, and then I can remove this over here. Then I can scroll to the end. I can make sure that it's totally what I need it to be. I can then trim the end of this video. I won't worry about doing that right now. And then I can drag in my outro to the end right here, add it right at the end. And now I'm really done. I've got an awesome video that I can upload to YouTube and go from there. But before I do that, there's a couple things that I really like about Camtasia that I want to show you that makes the process a little easier. So one thing that you can add in Camtasia that will help you later is you can add these little bookmark chapter markers. So I can add one at the beginning by pushing Shift M. So Shift plus the M as in marker, and then I can give a little starter here. So how to write a blog, right? And then I can get a little further into my video, and then I can push Shift M again and then add another marker about what I'm talking about, writing tips or SEO. And basically you just go through this and you add all these markers. These are going to turn out to be the chapter markers later in YouTube. And I'll show you how you can do that by hand, but by using Camtasia to do it, Camtasia will actually generate the needed text for that to work. So all right, let's now pretend like we're exporting this to YouTube. You can actually click Export in Camtasia and then select YouTube directly. This is really nice about Camtasia. I'll show you how you can do this with any video editor or how you can upload a file in just a second. So when we say Export YouTube, it gives me a little dialog here, and it actually gives me a few properties that I can fill out, which get filled out on YouTube Studio, which is super nice. I'm going to show you how to do it on YouTube Studio just in case you don't have Camtasia, but know that if you do have Camtasia, you can fill out a few of these tags, click Export, and then the system's going to render your video and upload it to your YouTube as you're signed in, which is just really helpful. So I'll cancel out of that for now, and then let me pivot to showing you about YouTube Studio and how you can upload kind of any video here. The first step is to go to YouTube, get an account, sign into your account or create an account if you haven't already. The next thing that you want to do is click this top right icon, your profile picture, and then select YouTube Studio from the link. So I think I've got another one here. Yeah, I guess it would be the main YouTube page, but click YouTube Studio. That's going to take you to this dashboard right here where you can see everything that you need to do. Again, I'll resize this screen so you can see all the pieces a little bit better. All right, so once you're in YouTube Studio, the way you upload a video is you actually click this Create button and then select Upload Videos. It's going to show you this screen right here where you can select a file from your computer. So select the MP4 file that you saved out of your video editor, or drag and drop that video into the screen. This will take a little while to upload it and process it, but that's great. Once it's done, it'll show up here in this content section. So if you go to the content tab, you can see all the videos that you've created. So let's pretend like I am actively editing this video right now. The way you add more details is you hover over this particular video and then click this little pencil or pen icon that says Details. This is going to take us into the video details section of YouTube Studio. This is really important. You might think that you were done after you completed the editing of your video. You're definitely not. These extra steps are extremely important for making sure your video ranks higher up in YouTube Studio, in YouTube searches. So I want to give you these tips. They're going to make a huge difference if you spend the extra time to set this up. All right, first thing is the title. The title, you should just make this the same as your WordPress title. If you had that before using your focus key phrase, that's just really helpful. By default, this title gets named the same as the file that you uploaded. So that may not be what you want. So definitely rename the title. Make sure that it really matches what your content is, that it's a great title. Next, you have a description. And so for here, if you wrote an article already, this is where I just use those same few sentences from my metadata description and put that here. This field can accept a whole lot more characters, so 5,000 characters. So feel free to add some more. This can be really helpful. It helps YouTube know how to connect people with your video. Next, I like to add a bunch of hashtags. Again, similar things to tell YouTube what is my video about, how do they know who to connect with it based on their searches. After that, I include a link, or actually a couple links now, to the article that I've written about this particular topic. I write a lot of technical articles with some code examples or other links. It's really important that I have a link here so people can click on it in their computer, copy and paste, rather than trying to type code directly from my video. So that's definitely in all of them. The other thing I list out is the subscribe to my channel link. And we'll go over the channel in a minute. Many people probably don't know, but any YouTube content creators have a channel page where you can see all the videos that they have, their different playlists, as well as some additional things. So this is really helpful. This is where you can click the subscribe button as well. So I include that in every one of my videos. I also include a link back to my main page just in case they want to watch other videos, and my other social media pages as well. So LinkedIn or Twitter/X, you can find me on those pages as well. All right, after that, we actually get to the cool piece that makes up these chapter pages in a video for Google searches, as well as you're watching a different video. So if you've ever noticed, there's the little bars at the bottom of some videos that allow you to skip ahead. You can hover over them, see a different chapter title. If you search Google for anything, you'll be able to see those chapter markings as well. If I search D365 try catch, for instance, you can see that I've got my article right here, and then if you scroll down slightly further, you get these 16 key moments. These are all the different titles, and this helps Google direct someone maybe directly to a particular answer. I know some people understandably worry that maybe viewers won't watch the entire video if you add these chapters, and that's fair, but I think YouTube says that by adding these chapters, it can actually help increase your ranking and get more views. So this text actually gets pasted in here for me by me adding those markers in Camtasia, but otherwise you can do it yourself. You simply just have to add these numbers to it, a hyphen, and then the name of each chapter. So it can take a little while for you to find where all these chapter markings are and write them down. That's where I like to have Camtasia. It at least means I don't have to write down the seconds, and so that's helpful, but these are really great and make for a better video as well. All right, after that, we've got a thumbnail. So I showed you in the how to write a blog article video how to use Canva to create these thumbnails. What's great about this is you can use this same image as your featured image in your article, in your WordPress article, and then you can copy that same image, just drag it right here for your thumbnail for your video. That's going to look a lot nicer than having no thumbnail. You can create a playlist as well. So playlist groups similar articles together or videos together, so you can see them. Maybe they're in order. Allows people to really connect and keep watching video to video. Here you specify your audience. Unless you specifically created content for kids, you set this to no, it's not made for kids. That doesn't mean it's anything bad or anything like that. It's just you set this unless you're specifically making content for kids. This is actually new. I find this interesting related to AI. You can just set this to no, that you haven't changed anything. You scroll down further, these tags are really important. These are short little words or phrases about what your content is as well. So similar to the hashtags that I have in descriptions, these are little smaller phrases that explain what's in here. What's great about this is if you've written an article first, you can use those same tags that you put into WordPress into here as well. TubeBuddy, which I'll explain in a second, can actually give you some suggestions and say, oh, you should add these tags as well, and they'll help you out even more. So you just kind of click plus, it'll add it to your video right here. And then you can scroll down, and that's really it at the moment. So I set the category to how to and style. Normally this is science and technology for me, but this is more of a how-to video. So those are the main pieces that are really important to set. The next piece though is over on this left side bar right here. The first one being this end screen. So the end screen actually is what we talked about earlier with that outro. And let me show you how that works. So if you click on this end screen button, YouTube Studio is actually going to give you a little bit of a video editor, and you're going to tell it when to introduce those actual end screen tiles. So right now I can see it's still in my main video, but if I scroll over just a touch, this gets to the start of my outro video. You can see these black boxes. These are just the placeholders of where we're going to apply these end screens over top. There's a bunch of different formats for end screens, circles, squares, etc. I'm going to click this particular one that has 2 videos, and then it's going to add those tiles in. Again, you'll see that it adds them kind of at the wrong place, or actually, yeah, they start a little too early. So I'm going to drag this over just like you would with a video editor so that it starts just at the right time, not too early, not too late. Then you'll notice these boxes are actually kind of in the wrong spot. So I'm going to move them so they're over top of my little black boxes right there. That's really all I have to do. You can change which tile shows what's best for viewer, most recent upload, that kind of thing. Another one from your playlist, or choose a specific video. I'm just going to hit save and let that work how it does. But by adding an end screen, it's really helpful. The next thing you want to set is the visibility. By default, right, I've got this set to unlisted, which means it's not public. When I'm ready, I can take this public, which makes it live on the internet, or better yet, I can schedule this to go live at a particular time, maybe the same time as my article, or the same time that I'm posting about it on social media. So I'll hold off on making it live right at the moment, but this is really important. You just set it and then click save, and then your video's live. Awesome. So these are really important tips. Let me show you a couple others as well. So one piece that you can do is you can actually go to your YouTube channel. So again, if we click on this icon in the top right, it'll bring up this menu bar. Click on view your channel. This will take you to your channel page. This is kind of your home page, or your profile, if you will, of YouTube. On here it shows you some links. You can link to a site or anything like that by clicking customize channel. You can see other videos that you've created. You can also feature other channels. So one tip I have that I made good use of is you can reach out to other content creators that are creating content similar to you. You can feature their channels, but then you could also ask them if they'd be willing to feature your channel in their YouTube channel, and that can help direct other viewers back to you. So this is really nice. This top bar, you can actually go into Canva as well and type in YouTube banner, and it'll give you a template with the exact right pixel dimensions so that you can set this instead of just leaving this as a blank screen. That makes it a little nicer. The next tip is you can click this customize channel. And on this customized channel, there's a way that you can add a subscribe button to the video. It's a little watermark that people can click on that'll take them to your channel and make it super easy for them to click that subscribe button. And so the way you do that is you click on that customize button. That just takes you to this customization menu. Then click on branding. In branding, there's 3 things. There's the picture. You can change this to be your picture. You can change the banner image as I showed you. And then lastly, there's this video watermark that you can click change. And I've got a link in my article to this little subscribe button. But again, this is kind of a cool, well-known hack that by adding this tiny little watermark of a subscribe button, when viewers click on that, that's actually going to take them to this channel, make it super easy for them to click that subscribe button. So if they're watching your video and really like it, that's a great tip for you. All right, so let's see what else I've got for you. So this article tells you like why you should have these chapter markings and how you can create them, so definitely check that out. YouTube Studio, which we've been working in to add these videos, it actually has an iPhone app. So I find this really useful. It shows you your stats of how many views you've seen or you've received in the last 28 days, how many hours people have watched your videos, how many views per video. You can also see comments that people have posted on your videos and respond to them directly in the app. So I find that really helpful so that when you're on the go, you can check on those things. So there's an iPhone app. I'm sure there's an Android app as well. So definitely look that up. Okay, the next tip I have for you is TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a free tool that is really helpful and can give you extra tips as you're adding your video details and show you other information about people on YouTube. There's a pro version that you can pay for more features, but the initial feature is a free Chrome extension that you can add. And so anywhere you saw these kind of TubeBuddy icons throughout this page is where they can help. They can help with generating titles. I showed you earlier they can make suggestions on which tags you should add. They can help add chapter markings, etc. So really great tool. But then one of my favorite pieces about it is if you're actually just searching YouTube in general and you want to look up a video, maybe I look up, I don't know, Brandon Sanderson, right? I'm a big fan of his. You could see maybe a video of his, and then you can actually see all the details about that particular video, and this is true of anyone kind of using that TubeBuddy extension. So if I go in here, maybe I click on one of his recent videos here. Okay, so you can see these video analytics are showing up. These are statistics about the video and the channel. So you can see how many total views. On the one hand, you can see that down here in YouTube as well. You can see how many subscribers and likes that they have. Again, you can see those at the bottom. But one of the cool things is you can actually see how many total views this particular person has in their channel as total, how many videos that they've created, but then also their SEO score and their best practices. Did they create an end screen? Did they do kind of many of the things that you're supposed to add, a thumbnail, etc.? Did they follow all those tips? And you can find other successful content creators and kind of copy the way that they do it. You can see that they add tags as well. So this is just a really helpful thing to do, and TubeBuddy shows you all this information from those video details. So I find that just really helpful and kind of proof that this makes a difference with those search engine optimization. Okay, let me show you some of the results of if you follow kind of all these results. It really does help with your search rankings within Google, within YouTube. If I search for D365 try catch, you can see that right after Microsoft's documentation on the subject, I've actually gotten, I have an article right here on that topic. And then you scroll a little bit further, the first YouTube video that shows here shows my video. If you search for, another one, write a file, this is my article that shows up first, and then my video is the first one, even though there's other videos on kind of a similar deal. I even have another video down here, but you can see those thumbnails. It just looks nice. YouTube and Google are seeing that as an article that covers this topic, and so it shows it first. So I definitely recommend for all of you guys who create awesome content out there, make sure that you're following all these best practices. They'll help you get some more views. Again, there are many more people who are way more popular and have way more views than I do, but I wanted to pass along what I've learned in the hopes that it helps you be just that much more successful. I really appreciate you watching. If you liked the video, click the like button. I also invite you to push the subscribe button as well. If there's other topics you would like to see a video on, please post in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I hope you learned something new today. Thank you.